Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we're going over nothing new. Sorry, I just dropped my marker. Nothing new, but we're just going to review our endings that sound like coal, the 2 ways to spell them, and then I have a checklist here I want to go over because today you're going to be writing your sentences on Seesaw, so I just want to go over some things to make sure you're checking in your head before you press that green arrow or green check and submit it to us. So remember, the coal endings can be spelled with C-A-L or C-L-E. Now I want everyone to think which one, actually let's do it this way, is our words spelled with C-A-L at the end, are they adjectives, nouns, or verbs? I want you to think back to, I think it was 2 days ago, maybe on Tuesday or Monday. Think, what kinds of words end in C-A-L? If you were thinking adjectives, you are right. Adjectives. If almost always, okay, there's always words that don't play fair, right? But almost always these words are adjectives. CLE words. Are they adjectives as well, nouns, or verbs? I want you to think to yourself back to Monday. Think, what did Miss Adamson tell us on Monday? And if you are thinking nouns, you are correct. Right? A person, place, or a thing. And remember, adjectives describe something. Like Miss Adamson's shirt is yellow. I'm going to just say describing words. Okay? Adjectives are describing words, nouns are person, places, or things. Okay, so today we're writing sentences. I'm going to try to make them silly because to me that's just more fun when I'm writing a sentence. You guys can make them silly, or you could just make a regular sentence. It's up to you. So I want to go over these 2 words first. I'm just going to do 1 word from each and practice using our checklist, but I just want to go over the words first. So this word is comical. Can you all say comical? Good. So comical, I'm wondering if you guys know what it means. If you do, that's great. If you don't, comical means it's a word to describe something or someone who is very funny. So you could say, oh, Miss Palmer is so comical when she makes a joke in front of the class. Or the movie I watched was so comical, it had a lot of funny scenes. Okay, so it just means something really funny. Now the word logical kind of means something that makes sense. So it is logical that it's snowing outside because it's below 30 degrees, right? So it's freezing temperatures. It makes sense that it's snowing, or you could say it's logical that it's snowing. You guys all know this word, the word circle, right? Just means the shape. Obstacle is like something's in your way. Maybe you went to an obstacle course where there's things in your way on purpose and you have to kind of like go through it. That's fun. Or maybe there's an obstacle in the middle of the road. Maybe it's another car. Maybe it's an animal you can't get by. That could be an obstacle. So I just wanted to give you examples that these are nouns, right? A circle is a thing. It's a shape. It's a thing. An obstacle is also a thing. An obstacle could be an animal in the middle of the road or a car in the middle of the road. Those are things. Now, comical and logical describe something, right? I described Miss Palmer being comical by making a joke, or I described a movie by being funny. And I described logical as describing the weather outside. Okay, so I just want to give you examples about how these are adjectives and these are nouns. So let's move on. Miss Adamson's been talking for way too long. And write a sentence. So I'm going to do one from here and one from here. My first sentence is going to use the word comical. This is my sentence. I came up with it before. It was comical. Okay, so I'm about to describe something. When my cat ate a cheeseburger. And yes, that is a very silly sentence. I'm sorry, can't say it. It was comical when my cat ate a cheeseburger. Very silly sentence because my cat did not eat a cheeseburger. But what I wanted to show you by writing these sentences was how to go through this checklist in your head. So the first thing I want you to think after you write your sentences is the first letter capital. Did it go to my first letter? Yes, it is. So I'm going to check that off. Do I have spaces between the words? Yep, I have spaces between all my words. Good. On Seesaw, I know it's a little bit hard because you're not actually writing them, but just pretend in your head. Punctuation at the end. You cannot see it, but actually, I forgot a period, so I'm going to make sure. Period, right? You could have periods, or you could have exclamation points or question marks. Use spelling patterns. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to give you all of these CLE and CAL words. Just remember to use them, but then think about other spelling patterns we learned. So I'm thinking of this word, 8. We know that this is the magic E rule, right? So it makes A say its name. So just think about all of those things that we've learned. Try to spell things as best you can using all those rules we've been over through the whole year, okay? So that's one sentence, and I just want to model to you how to use this checklist. I really want you to try to use it before you submit your work so that you practice like editing your own work, since me and Miss Palmer are not right there with you. I'm going to use the word obstacle. I don't have a sentence ready, so I'm trying to think. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to use circle. It's a little bit easier. My cat jumps in circles around the house. Now let's go through that checklist. My cat doesn't really jump in circles, but just trying to be silly. First letter is capital. Yep. Check. Spaces between my words. Yep. It's hard to tell, but I do have them. Punctuation at the end. I have a nice period here. And I use spelling patterns. Again, we're going to give you the CLE spelling words, but look at how many other ones I used from this year. OU, we learned makes the ow sound, and OU again makes the ow sound. Okay, and we've done these before in class. So just really try to think about the best way to spell things, and then go through this checklist in your head. Sorry, this board is a little bit confusing, but you're going to go ahead and write sentences on Seesaw, okay? You can make them silly. I know me and Miss Palmer love reading the silly sentences. It makes us laugh, which is always good. And if you need help, just let us know.